What's up, everybody? Since Taylor Brand LLC took over SCHRADE, they busted out some really nice Chinese produced knives. This is the first I got. The SCHRADE SCHF16. Sterile blade on both sides, engraved model name right there. It is a full tang neck knife, although I don't carry it around the neck. I carry it in this configuration with the belt through that zip tie, because it is on the heavy side for a neck knife, and the while the sheath retention is good, that weight pulling on this all the time, I'm not entirely sure. It doesn't click in as nicely as, let's say, some of my cold steel neck knives. So I carry this around the belt or in a pack. The blade design is a reverse tanto, maybe even a modified clip point, drop point, whatever. It is hollow ground. On this side, the grind lines are a little bit rougher than on the other one. The hollow grind is reasonably thin behind the edge, actually. You can do some really nice cutting with that. And I will do that right now to show you how sharp it is. It's still the factory edge. Haven't used it a lot. Has a little nick in there somewhere. It is reasonably sharp. It is, what kind of steel is it? Let me show, oh my god, I'm so unprepared. 7CR13 MOV. I bought this one for $14.99, shipped within 14 days to my door, free shipping from China. It is a Chinese produced knife, and I will annotate the seller on eBay that sells it for $14.99 shipped. You pay a little bit more in the States on Amazon or from other sellers. I think $24. Maybe even more, maybe even less. But never less than $14.99. The blade is apparently coated with, titanium nitride bullshit. I think it's just paint. I'm not sure how it will hold up, but it has that certain shine to it. I don't really know. It's not that matte. The screws, or I think Chicago screws are they called, are hardened. I took off the scales, was pretty oily and stinky under there, so I cleaned it off, just wiped it off with some WD-40. Basically everything I did was just sand off those corners a little bit with some medium grit and low grit and high grit, smooth sandpaper. On this side you just have those vertical grooves. On this side, those vertical grooves and half grooves and the SCHRADE logo. It has a lanyard hole down there. It is kind of a skinny hole. You can use that as, a pummel, hammer down some shit. It has quite a thick stock. I think it's 3 mil. 4 millimeters thick. If you're handy, and you have a drill press or a Dremel tool or whatever, you can, mill out all that stuff inside and lighten the blade up quite a bit, or just drill some holes in there. It doesn't matter, the scales are over there, and if I could, I would, because it is on the heavy side. I think I told you that already. I'm gonna weigh it just in grams. 133 grams. Well, 133 grams. Okay, so the scale is definitely not broken. Without the sheath, 33 grams, just have that zip tie there. You might want to subtract 2 grams or so. 152 grams. That dangling around your neck with that retention, well, wouldn't necessarily recommend it. But no rattle. So very nice job. SCHRADE has 4 holes. It has a very, very nice grip, and those grooves hold fluids, you know, liquids a little bit, but you can clean that off real nicely. The corners were a little bit sharp, just a little bit, because, you know, the scales are just milled and slapped on there, screwed on there, but no gaps on that dimension, you know. I just sanded off those corners because they were a little bit sharp, a little bit uncomfortable. No deal breaker. No deal breaker. The jimping is, well, the distance between the grooves is quite high, but it is actually functional. It doesn't rip up your skin. I just wished they did a flat grind, but for $14.99. What more do you want in that knife? I have large hands. I can get a really comfortable grip. It is really so comfortable. Has a nice deep choil. Negative angle on top. You can see it's basically one angle up, one angle down, and the tip is very sharp. It's nicely ground even at the base here. It just feels so good in the hand. They did a fantastic job. So kudos, SCHRADE. You really stepped up your game. SCHRADE makes a lot of new, you know, tactical, survival, woodwork tools for a very reasonable price. Even for $25, this would be a good knife. A good knife, not a great knife, a good knife. So if you're on a low budget, you want to get something that's really sturdy, this is it. You can feel the weight in hand. It is quite substantial, but not so heavy that it would bug you. It is a really nice knife. Great design, good sheath, and 100% recommended from me. So get out, use your knives. If this one should break, you should snap off the tip, which I think is the most likely thing to happen. But even that, you must do a lot to break that tip. I don't know where I was going with that, but I really thank you for watching. Have a good night. Roll Tide.